This is Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, brought to you by the Iowa Soybean Association, your daily recap of the information that affects Iowa's farmers, producers, and consumers, right here in the heart of the heartland. With reports from our award-winning broadcast team of Dustin Hoffman, Riley Smith, and Mark Magnuson. Now, from the IARN studios in Des Moines, here's Mark Magnuson.
Hello and welcome into another episode of Ag Matters PM on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Mark Magnuson. Today is Wednesday, September 7th, 2022. So glad that you could join us for today's show. And in today's show, I will talk with Keith O'Brien of Pivot Bio, and he's going to tell us about some new innovations they have in the way of nitrogen application. So we're looking forward to that segment here today. And we'll also have a check of the ag weather outlook for you, and we will run down our markets.
It's time now for the Ag Matters PM Closing Market Summary, your source for market analysis and settlement prices from the day's trade in Chicago, courtesy of the folks at agmarket.net.
All right, at the end of another trading day, we are joined now by Jacob Burks from agmarket.net. Jacob, what did you see today in the grain markets?
We saw a lot of volatility, and we say this every time that you should get used to seeing volatility. And with the volatility gives us a lot of opportunity. But today was pretty ugly in the corn market. I would say that's probably the most negative trade. Saw a 100-day moving average that we've kind of focused on in that December corn for a while. We closed above it yesterday. Felt like it's going to springboard us into a good rally. We made new highs for this move up this month anyway, to the month of August. And we sold off here throughout the day and just could not sustain that. Led with the beans on the way down. Beans were up sympathetically overnight with the wheat and with the corn market, and they led the way down. And we ended up closing the beans on their lows today at 13.81, around that 18 lower on the day. Most of the move up today was pretty well documented in the news all day long. But Putin in Russia decided that he did not like how the agreement was going with Ukraine, and they were shipping too much grain to the EU. Kind of used the grain as weaponized it, and has now threatened to take some of that protection away through the Black Sea area. Discounting some of the exports that we have going to the EU and going out into the rest of the world. And I think that put a lot of pressure for this wheat price to rally, thinking that some of these exports could come to us. But we end up backing that off about 25 cents. At one point today, we were up almost 60 cents. And so we're going to close the wheat market here, still on a positive day, but not near as well off the highs in the December Chicago wheat. We hit 873 at one point. It looks like we're going to close 841 here today.
And Jacob, as we get closer to harvest time, what do farmers need to be thinking about individually right now about the markets and how it affects them?
I would encourage each farmer to stop looking at where this thing could go and look at where it is. Look at what you're doing from a profitability standpoint. You're looking, even though you had some higher input costs, you have some record profitability available to you right now. And we can look at managing the top side if it bothers you, through calls and through different strategies that you can measure the what ifs. So why are we selling now? The one thing that a producer really needs to look at and needs to communicate with is their local basis. That's the area that you can't manage on flat price with the futures and options strategies. That's where you need to look and pay attention to what's available to you now. Where's that at from history? And where do you think it could go? And I think that with that, you can make some better decisions of what you're doing off the combine, and does it even make sense to put it in the bin this year?
Switching topics now, back to the markets. What did we see today on the livestock side?
I would consider this a pretty disappointing day in the feeder cattle. Yesterday, we had the markets higher as corn market was rallying. And sometimes you get some separation, and the feeder cattle trade their own fundamentals. And today, I think all of the meat complex was looking at what does the economics say telling us? What is our economy domestically saying? Are we going to be able to afford high priced protein? The hog market has a 2-day rally going. It was very strong at one point today, and they sold off quite a bit too. So I think the macros really, the outside markets, if you will, got to the meat complex pretty strong today. If you look at the crude oil is down $4.80 right now. So we have a very ugly trade in the energies. I think that filtered over into the livestock market more than anything. And even our stock market, even saw a rally here today. Dollar index did turn over and trade below 110, but the livestock market just couldn't catch that bid and ended up getting sold off here as we went forward.
Jacob, what are you seeing as far as how consumers are behaving right now, even with those higher prices?
Well, you saw that we kind of had a little bit of stability in our cutouts in the port. Cash market, from the cattle side of things, you're looking, $1 lower last week. It's anticipated. I didn't see any cash trade here today yet, but it's anticipated seeing that a little bit higher. I think the packers are going to have to end up getting something bought for next week. But you're seeing the cutouts of the beef, the boxed beef numbers, stay pretty steady right now. The one thing you're noticing a pretty wide spread between the choice and the select here, for this last 6 months really. And I think that's what that's telling you is we've seen a lot of cull cows come in. The quality has been lower, so you're seeing a significant amount of that choice beef hit the market, and you're seeing a separation between the qualities. So I think if as far as the retailers, I think they're going to be backing off. You're looking at different supplemental proteins that are going to be taking place. Beef, I haven't followed the retail side as much as what I probably should, but that's where the focus should be right now, seeing if we're actually moving that meat.
He's Jacob Burks from agmarket.net. Jacob, how can our viewers get in touch if they'd like to learn more?
I just encourage you to go to agmarket.net, take a look at our 30-day free trial, get all our market intel. You can find us there. All of us are on that website under the About Us part. And if you have want to look at something directly, just look me up here or email me at jburks@agmarket.net.
Jacob, thank you so much for the excellent analysis as always, and have a great day.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
That was Jacob Burks of agmarket.net. Coming up next, we'll take a look at the closing market numbers brought to you by the folks at Bar Chart.
This is Riley Smith with a check of the closing market numbers. September corn is down 4 even at 676 3/4. December corn down 5 even at 671 even. September soybeans down 23 1/4 at 1466 3/4. November soybeans down 15 1/4 at 1383 1/2. Soybean meal up 440 at 415 even. Soybean oil down 122 at 63.68. Chicago wheat up 26 1/2 at 826 1/2. Minneapolis spring wheat up 10 1/4 at 900 even. Kansas City hard red wheat up 22 1/2 at 901 1/2, and September oats down 7 1/4 at 391 even. On the Merc, October live cattle down 80 cents at 144.25. September feeders down 215 at 182.02. October lean hogs down 2 cents at 91.07. Pork cutout down 12 cents at 101.75, and Class 3 milk up 17 at 19.84.
And that was a check of our closing farm market numbers here on Ag Matters PM. We're going to take a quick break from our sponsors, the Iowa Soybean Association and the Soybean Checkoff. And then coming up next, I will visit with Keith O'Brien from Pivot Bio. This is Ag Matters PM.
Iowa Soybean Association is driven to deliver for Iowa's 40,000 soybean farmers. We're proud to provide objective agronomic research, a helping hand with soil and water stewardship, and timely industry news powered by the Soybean Checkoff. Learn more at iasoybeans.com.
Welcome back to Ag Matters PM on the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Mark Magnuson. Coming up next, we will have a chance to visit with Keith O'Brien from Pivot Bio. And Keith is going to explain a new nitrogen application process that they've had in the works. That's coming up next here on AM/PM. Mark Magnuson with the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, and I'm joined here by Keith O'Brien. He's the Director of Agronomy and Seed Treatments with Pivot Bio. And Keith, I know there's something that's really exciting right now as far as nitrogen being applied already to the seed. Could you explain that and how that works?
Yeah, this is a really exciting time for the Pivot Bio and also for our customers. And what we're introducing here this week at the Farm Progress Show is an innovative way to deliver consistent nitrogen to the customer. And so what we came up with is an innovative formulation and also an innovative process of applying nitrogen on seed or to the seed. And what that does for us is what our goal is. We're thinking about these microbes that produce ammonia and really give us a consistent source of nitrogen. But our goal is to deliver that microbe alive on that seed to the customer. And so we developed a formulation and process that are innovative to be able to make sure that happens.
So is this a process that's difficult? Is it something that anything is going to change for the farmer or for the producer?
Everything, has its challenges, and when we look at these microbes, they're living, breathing organisms. And so when we go through our research, we want to make sure that they're, again, alive and very effective once they get to the field. So we developed the process of doing this. And so it took a couple of years of research to get this done. We just didn't hit it the first time out of the gate. But and so we've done work not only in the labs, but also in smaller plots and in on-farm testing as well to ensure that we can replace that 40 pounds per acre for the customer, and that we ensure that they have good plantability and good seed safety and all the things that go along with delivering a technology like this.
So what did you see on those test plots? Were you guys happy with the results and the numbers you received back?
Yeah, so the last couple of years we've had thousands of acres as far as on-farm test plots, but one of the more expansive type testing that we did, or actually just being able to demonstrate to the customer that our product's working. We really want to look at how much nitrogen is produced in the plant and then how large the plant is. So when you take the percent nitrogen times the plant biomass, you get how many pounds of nitrogen. And so what we've done with our sales force is gone out to our customers and asked them to go in the field, and we select plants that are treated and non-treated, and we look at what that concentration of nitrogen is and also the plant biomass. And we've done that over 1.3 million acres, as effective acres this year. And so it's the largest on-farm test program to look at nitrogen in the plant. So it's been very, very effective. It's a good way for us to go out and demonstrate the performance of our product. And we take the customers in the field, right in their field, on farm, so it's very effective. And we've had our results have been is a 14% increase in concentration of nitrogen in the plant and a 12% increase in biomass. You multiply those together and we get a good pounds per acre of nitrogen.
So is that the big hurdle, though? Because I would imagine with a producer, the first thing that they think about, well, this is new, so it's something that causes maybe some apprehension. Is it just saying, well, yes, but we do have those results that we've already seen in our test plots?
Absolutely, and you can always share results with a customer or grower, but if you can share it with them on their farm, it's that much more effective. And so what we're asking growers to do is to replace synthetic nitrogen up to 40 pounds per acre. And so that takes a mindset change. And so we know this is new, this is innovative, and so we have to share results with them. By doing it on farm, it's very effective.
Keith, I'm just continually amazed by all the innovations that continue to happen with things exactly like we're talking about today. Do you ever find yourself thinking, I wouldn't have thought this was possible 10 years ago?
Absolutely. You sit there and you think about I've been in this business for over 30 years, and what I studied different things when I was in college, because it's changed so much, and so much we've learned so much. And you think about, well, we've got this we really understand something about science and about how it's applied in the field, but then you learn something new, and we say, well, we've got to do things a little differently, and we keep raising that bar. It's very, very exciting.
Keith, is there anything else you'd like to let our viewers and listeners know about when it comes to this new science and this new technique of applying nitrogen?
It's again, I go back to the innovation part of it. It's a form of nitrogen that is consistent for the grower, because it doesn't leach, it doesn't denitrify, it doesn't volatilize, and has a very good environmental aspect to it. Doesn't affect greenhouse gases, it doesn't leach and cause groundwater issues, and it's very, very consistent. And so we want something that's sustainable, environmentally safe, and it's very productive for the grower.
He's Keith O'Brien with Pivot Bio. I'm Mark Magnuson for the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. That was Keith O'Brien from Pivot Bio. And it's time now to take a check of our weather outlook. We've been experiencing some warm temperatures, not too hot, and in fact at night it's even had a chance to cool down a little bit. Coming up next, we will take a look at what the National Weather Service forecast has in store for the next 24 hours.
Riley Smith here again with your weather forecast. Today we'll see some lingering patchy fog, which will give way to sunny skies and a beautiful day. Highs range from about 80 to the upper 80s. Tonight we'll see mostly clear to partly cloudy skies with some fog in the east, lows ranging from 60 to about 63. Tomorrow we'll have mostly sunny and warm conditions, high ranging from 83 to about 90. And taking a look at the affiliate weather map, as you can see for tomorrow, Cherokee will be partly sunny with a high of 89. Shenandoah sunny and 87, Des Moines sunny and 90, Waterloo sunny and 87, Albia sunny and 88, and Clinton much of the same, sunny and 83.
For a more detailed forecast in your part of the state, check out your local Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network affiliate. That's been a check of the Ag Weather Outlook. And that also brings us to the end of another episode of Ag Matters PM. You can find all of our content on our website at iowaagnet.com. And don't forget to follow us on social media at Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok. You can also find all of our video content and previous episodes of AM/PM on our YouTube channel. And while you're there, you can click on the subscribe button to get alerts on the newest content. Don't forget our free twice daily market podcast, which you can find almost anywhere: Apple, Amazon, Google, Spotify, and Podbean. From the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network studios in Des Moines, I'm Mark Magnuson. On behalf of Dustin Huffman and Riley Smith, we thank you for watching. This has been Ag Matters PM.